Now, one of the biggest problems of refitting a camper that somebody else has already built is coming across mistakes that they've made and putting those mistakes right. Can you spot the mistake that's been made in this camper? Leave a comment below whilst I roll the intro. Now, if you said there's no vapour barrier, give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back, because there is no vapour barrier in this van, and I can only assume that the walls are the same. Now, there's not a lot I can do about the sides, but I can certainly try and make the ceiling a bit more vapour barrier proof. Trouble is, how am I going to do it? Because it's already been built. So I need to come up with a solution. Be right back. Right, so I've given it some thought and I've decided that Celotex has already got a built-in vapour barrier. This silver foil, that's what it's for when it's used in a house, right? They seal it with this silver foil and silver foil tape. So I've gone and brought a couple of rolls of silver tape, and basically all I'm going to do is tape it all up, seal it with this stuff. And because this has been used before, it looks a bit second-hand. It's got a few gaps in it, a few tears. I'm going to make it good by just recovering it with silver foil tape. I think that's the best thing I can do, really. That's about all I can do. Yeah, so right, let's get taping. Right, so I'm going to start this end and just work my way right back and seal all the little gaps and nooks and crannies as best I can. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's not a bodge, but it is a solution. As my mate John said when I did this, screws in the side of these skylights, he told me off because on film I said it's a bit of a bodge, but John rightly pointed out really it's not actually a bodge, it's a solution to a problem. And yeah, he kind of told me off for that. For saying that. He said you shouldn't put yourself down, you've come up with a solution to a problem and it's a good solution and it works well. So yeah, thank you John for the confidence boost. I appreciate it, mate. So this isn't a bodge, even though I think it is a bit, but yeah, as John would say, it's not a bodge job, it's a solution to a problem. So let's yeah, solve this problem, the vapour barrier. So rather than put a big one sheet of vapour barrier up, I'm simply going to use the Celotex as a vapour barrier, because at the end of the day that's what it is. That's what this silver surface is for. It is a natural vapour barrier, which is one of the bonuses of using Celotex in your camper van. So before I struggle sealing it up, I'm just going to take care of all the little gaps in the foam, because this stuff has been used before. I think it's been repurposed, so it's got a bit of damage. So yeah, actually that piece isn't too bad. Right, so start this end and work my way right through. Right, this is where I go all a bit Benny Hill. Well, I think that's the best I can do. I've filled in all the gaps, sealed all the little holes, used an absolute ton of this stuff. So I think next thing I'm going to do is have a quick tidy up. It's got a bit messy in here over the last few days. So I'm going to have a quick tidy up and then start putting the ceiling up and the lights. Oh, it's getting warm in here. So now it's time to put the cladding up But because someone's cutting the grass over there, I'm not going to film it, but you've seen me put cladding up before anyway. I will pause now and again and show you any interesting bits. Yeah. Ah, now here's the thing, for those of you that have asked, does the skylight come with a frame? Yes, of course it does. There you go. And it's got a built-in fly screen and a blind as well, but I won't show you until I've actually fitted it. Right, so now my shirt's coming off and my cladding's going up. Now I've already pre-drilled the holes for the puck lights, as you can see, and I've done 3 of these, so we're going to have 3 puck lights down this side, 3 down this side, and 2 at the front as well. And by pre-drilling them, it's very simple, just a matter of threading the wires through, pushing the puck lights into place, like that. He says. There you go, really simple to do. Put the puck lights in and then run these cables along the edge of there and take this cable up and then make our connections at that side. Right, now pay attention, because I'm going to share something with you, a little bit of I wouldn't say insider knowledge, but a little bit of experience, something I've experienced over the years of building out campervans and using cladding. Now you'll notice these 2 screws here aren't quite done up all the way, and the same as these back ones. So these 2 pieces of cladding here are only just sort of nipped up. They're just in there, just enough to hold them in place. And the reason for this is because I'm going to put another 2 pieces of cladding here. Now this cupboard and this cupboard, there's no guarantee they run completely parallel. So these last 4 pieces of cladding, if need be, I can feather them out with the little tiny channels that go down here that interlock in. I can either expand it or retract it either end to make sure that that last piece of cladding runs parallel with this cupboard. I'll show you what I mean when I get the other 2 pieces up. And here comes a Spitfire, right on time. Well, it didn't quite go to plan. As you can see, I've finished it off and I've got to the edge, and there was quite a significant gap, too big a gap for me to fan the panels out and make up that little gap. So I just pushed them all together, and it just turns out these cupboards are pretty much parallel to each other. So this little sliver here is about 1/4 of an inch. I'll just bring you in a little bit closer so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. So there's a little tiny sliver there, 1/4 of an inch wide, just to make up the shortfall. Didn't quite get me measurements right, but it doesn't matter, it still looks pretty good. Nobody will ever notice, and John probably wouldn't notice unless he watches this video, and he probably will. So yeah, sorry about that, mate, but you're just going to have to put up a little tiny bit there. But once it's all painted, you'll never notice it. So now the next job is to put some power to the lights and make sure these work. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you guys to give this video a thumbs up, because it makes a massive difference to the algorithm. Apparently, the more people that give my videos a thumbs up or a like, the more YouTube promote my channel. So really help me out if you guys give this video a thumbs up. Right, so next, power these up, make sure they work, and then fit the frames to the skylight. But John has dropped a bombshell. He wants me to put power to this skylight so that he can add some pretty fairy lights all the way around on the inside. Yeah, thanks John. So to do that, I need to take all this cladding down on this side to run a cable underneath. This is just a cable for that light. I've got to tidy it up. It doesn't matter because I need to take all this down anyway to run another cable and another switch so that John can have his pretty fairy lights on the inside. So to accommodate John's need for LED lights around his inner skylight, I've simply passed this wire through here, through the beam, and I'm just going to leave that there like that and tape it up there maybe, so that then John later on he can add his LED lights around the rim of that. Yeah, now all I've got to do is put it all back together again. Oh, look at this, I'm really pleased with this. It's come out really well. Super excited, look at it, it's a massive skylight. And yes, it does come with a blind, although it's a bit stiff, needs a bit of lubricating, a bit of silicone to sort that out, I'm sure. And also fly net, so at night time you can pull this across, leave the skylight open, you won't get infested with nasty bugs. We don't like that, do we? But I do like this, I do like how this is turning out, it's fantastic. Now if you've missed me fitting this skylight, I'll put a link to that video right there so you can see me fitting this skylight, just for those of you that have missed that video. And a lot of people ask me, does it come with a smudge on the glass of your lens? So right, there's that Spitfire again. All day yesterday, kept buzzing around, making a noise. Quite annoying. Why don't they just put it in a museum and let people look at it? Yeah, you're members only. No, you're not allowed to. Also has a fly blind. Now I've already pre-drilled. Dogs. Right, crack on. Don't forget, thumbs up.